What's happening when you're watching a really good movie beyond just entertainment?
Yeah, you're activated. It's probably why Mass has changed. You know, the Mass has changed because there was a yearning to activate the public in an artificial way. I would say, I mean, listen, I'm no expert on any of this, but it feels like this bureaucratic activation, like rules were set or a change happened in the tradition from Latin Mass to the Mass that you now receive. It's almost as though the church is trying almost from the office, activate the audience without putting the agency on the priest.
We have full, conscious, active participation. That's
which is where the singing and the back and forth comes from, whereas old Latin Mass put all the agency on the priest to be fully activated, and that activation of the priest was supposed to activate the audience, to activate the laity. That all the agency was put on the priest. And so, and I don't want to get too far into this because then you get into controversy, but Latin Mass affects me deeply.
How come?
Because it feels like they're not selling me a car. And when I go to some Mass with the guitars and stuff, and I'm from, Santa Ynez, right? So that's where I was catechized. And there's a lot of guitar playing. And there's a lot of what feels like they're trying to sell me on an idea.
Yeah.
Whereas what I feel when I went to Oakland and went to and by the way, there's a very incredible version of that as well. That's super activating and very emotional that I've experienced up there with Father Bobby. There's also, and Father Peter, but there's also this something that happened, Christ the King in Oakland does a Latin Mass every day of the week. And it feels like it's not being done to sell me on anything. And it feels almost like I'm being let in on something very special. And the quiet, it activates something in me where it feels like I found something. It's a little bit like a band. When a band is pushed on you, it doesn't feel the same way as you finding it. When you find it, then you root for it. It feels like this special thing that you found, and you protect it, and you hold it, and it's yours. When somebody's selling me on something, it somehow takes it kills my aptitude for it and my suspension of disbelief and my yearnings to root for it.
I get it.
There's an immediate rebellion in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that. You're hitting different dimensions of it, because you might say the shadow side of the older form was it became too much of a theater performance and the audience is just kind of sitting there taking it in, where what all the liturgical reform people wanted, this is way back in the 40s and 50s, was this full, conscious, active participation. So that the congregation is not like just watching a show, but we're involved. You say the give and take and so on. But then the shadow side of the other approach, I think you're right in saying I can feel too put upon, like they're, as you say, trying to sell me something.
Yes.
And, so trying to find that organic rhythm.
Because you don't want to be exclusive either.
No, right.
Which is what Latin Mass feels like sometimes. It feels like I have to know Latin to experience it. But however, I would also say that there's certain language where I don't need to know the words.
Yeah.
Which is what I feel when I watch Pio's Mass.
Yeah.
I know what's going on, and I feel it deeply. It almost feels more powerful than when I know every single word. It takes me out of the realm of the intellectual, and it puts me squarely in the realm of the feeling, and the beauty thing that you talk about.
Do you know Joseph Campbell? Do you know that name? The comparative mythologist. And he was raised as a Catholic way back when, so in the old church, right? He said he thought the greatest problem was when we moved the Mass from the older form, and he said to make it more like a cooking demonstration. And what he meant was, well, here we are, everything's well lit. I'm this and this and that. And I get his point. It's kind of the point you're making, that if it becomes too obvious, too rationalized, hey, everybody, look, here's what's going on, that it does take something away from the experience of the mystique of it. Because part of the idea of using incense, which we do at the Catholic Mass, and we say, well, our prayers going up to God, yes, indeed. But part of the symbolism there is it blocks our vision. The smoke gets in the way.
Yes.
And in fact, it gets in your eyes even.
Yes.
Where people are coughing and I can't see. But that's appropriate around sacred things. If everything's wide open to view and under bright light, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's by definition not the sacred in a way.
Yeah.
So, see, the challenge to me is trying to find a way to honor all these things we're talking about. And the liturgical wars going on are often people on both sides seeing good things in their approach. But it's trying to find the place where they can all find expression.
Yeah.
I think that's the
challenge. And I do, as a person who's involved in the arts, to deny some of the senses, it heightens some of the others. So when you put me in this rationalistic, logical word, plot, it takes me out of the feeling realm.
Yeah.
Whereas Latin Mass puts me squarely in the feeling realm because I can't argue the word, because I don't know what the word means.
Yeah.
So I'm just left with this feeling that feels sacred and connected. And really what hindered I was never an atheist. I was always an agnostic, even when I was a Sam Harris, TED Talk, Christopher Hitchens guy, which is who I was before I fell in. I always had a belief, but I never had like a connection. Latin Mass gave me something where I felt connected, which took me out of belief into connection. Belief kept me, I had belief because that's the rational, logical. It's not logical or rational to be atheist.